Randlow, that's the government official, but I go by Tall Thunda because I am an artist, a creative, an entrepreneur, somebody who reaches in all realms that evolves anything when it comes to coloring the world. And yeah, we here doing our thing, tattooing, painting, drawing, creating, investigating, and dreaming. That's a great question. So painting is foundational. Painting is where I started when I was basically 4 years old. That was the area where I felt that I could be myself for real. Having the tools and the resources and accessibility to basically express myself at such a young age. Thanks to mom, shout out to mama. I feel like that foundation is what gives me the space to be myself, the space to dream big, the space to, really reach for those things that most people are often scared to talk about, or things that people are afraid to go try and do. And so with me, I feel most free when I'm able to live in that hat, live in that realm. And tattooing essentially is also an area of freedom. I think the cool part about it is that I get the option to bring my ideas to life on other people. I could never just settle on one idea for myself. So to be able to have that ability to write people's stories or illustrate people's experiences and kind of magnify what they've been through as a memory or a constant reminder on their bodies every single day is also a form of freedom for others that I love to give. So it's freedom for self and also me being able to use my gift to give freedom for others. I'm gonna be honest. The first time that I left my mark on somebody, the word was limitless. And baby, the outcome was shaky. Like in my mind, I was like, okay, I can do this. I've been practicing. I hit up my friend in Philly. I was like, hey, can I slide through real quick? Like I would love to be able to, put my first mark on a human canvas. And she was like, sure, no problem, come on down. Shout out to her because I'm gonna be honest, I would not allow somebody to be like, yes, come try, come test. But the moment that I started to unravel the materials, went through my process, the steps are very strategic. It's almost surgical to a certain point. I was practicing it often and over, so I wasn't nervous about that point. But the moment that I actually dipped the needle into ink and had her back ready for me to just blast, I was like, oh, it's getting real. Like heart was pounding, barely was able to breathe. I was sweating profusely and she was like, you okay? I was like, I'm good. Put the needle onto her back and I was like, how does it feel? She was like, dog, you just put the needle on there, like move the needle. So at that moment, it just felt like the gates went open. Just to have that touch and that experience to see like, yes, you have to start somewhere. And yes, it's gonna be a little uneasy, but the moment that you actually just break through that first barrier, it's been up since. This question, 3 tips to balancing the 9 to 5 in your creative paths. I would say remember who you are. That's the very first tip off top. You have to remember who you are. And if you're not sure who you are, I want you to take time out of your day, whether you're during your 9 to 5, whether it's at home when you're sleeping, literally take time out of your day to sit with self and reflect on what brings me joy, what moments make me feel like I come alive. Who in my life is someone that I really look up to or someone that, pours into who I am? What gift do I have that I can give to others? And when you can start to kind of fathom some answers to those questions, you start to create this entity of, oh, this is who I am. When you know who you are, it don't matter who you are, where you are in this world, you will be able to stand in your truth at all times. You can show up to that 9 to 5, they could have a complete disastrous day. But in your spirit, in your mind, you're like, okay, but I'm cooling because I know what I got going on for me and I'm happy. So I would say for sure that's the first one, like know who you are, stand in who you are, and don't change up or switch up for anybody. The second tip is be consistent in that passion that you have. So capitalism, society, all this stuff becomes, problematic. We get drained, we get tired, we have responsibilities, people that, are looking out for us, looking up to us for assistance. Be consistent in practicing what it is that you have. There's a lot of nights where in my 9 to 5, I am completely exhausted. I'm feeling through the roof, don't have anything in me left to give. But at those moments, even if I'm not physically painting, I tell myself to create in my mind, because everything starts in the mind. If you're not thinking about it, it won't become a thing. And so on those days, I'm like, all right, bet, we're gonna go to bed and have a dream. And a lot of times my dreams are often the visions for the things that I create on people. So be consistent in practicing what it is that you are passionate about. And the third tip I would say is surround yourself around those people who are just as hungry as you. It's a lonely world. You cannot exist in a space where you're not around folks who, if they're not doing exactly what you have going on, they understand what it is you got going on. There's such a beauty. Like, we come from community. We literally are born into this world through someone else. Therefore, we're not meant to be alone. We need to be around someone who shares the same wavelengths. We need to be around people who get that there's something bigger than just what the world is offering us right now. And when you find those people, hold on to them. Like, don't let them go. Don't look away. Don't, try to become something different, because now it's like, well, let me see what else I can do, because, I'm gonna try to do this, that, and the third. Just focus on who's in your space and those who are actually riding with you. And be okay when those who are riding with you, if they start to take a different route, if they start to take a detour, or if they want to become something different, because we all evolve at our own speeds. And sometimes that changes in situations and environments. Be open to that, be grateful for it, and take all those moments as lessons and blessings. So self-imposed, where was I? I was in my apartment. Let's see. I want to say it was during the summertime, 2020. Yep, let's say July 2020. There was an actual storm happening at the time that I was in my creative bag. I was up late at night, 12 a.m., just in my typical artistry vibes, writing things out, journaling, kind of get some ideas down. And something in me was like, I want to change, my name. Like, I want to make a statement of who I really am. Because your girl is 6'2" when I'm not wearing heels. I'm really 6'2". So I just needed people to know, like, I am tall, but my energy is also thunderous. Like, who I am moves mountains. You will see me coming, you will hear me coming, you will feel me coming, and oftentimes you won't know that I am coming. But when I do come, like, it's gonna light up the room. And that moment when I was in my apartment, I remember very, very clearly, like, the identity just clicked. Quick caveat, every time that I have very just brilliant or kind of like creative ideas that come out of nowhere, I always peek and check the weather to see what's going on outside. And every time those moments do come up, a storm is coming. I see lightning in the sky, kind of like a God-earthly connection that I can experience with I'm in my purpose. I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's kind of like a confirmation that I can see within myself, like, oh yeah, did you see that lightning strike? That means that idea you had is something you need to rock with. So it's kind of a way for me to keep going. So we tall Thunda, basically striking everything and everywhere I go, spreading love and light every single time. Just one color? Okay. I'm over here looking at my paintings and things. Can't escape. It looks like it's, you said one color, and I'm over here about to say three of them. I would say the electric blue. That's what I'm looking at right now with my paintings. That is not my favorite color. However, I usually use like a dark contrast with my artistry sometimes. I usually like to bring light into the dark, and some of the colors that do complement black or, dark navies and whatnot usually are electric blues or like highlighter yellows. And so as I'm looking at it now, like, I'll add a quick electric blue into anything, even if I'd never had a plan to do it. So I think that's the one that, be riding with me for most of the parts. It starts in my mind. I am a very lucid dreamer. I've learned over the years that not many people have that ability to dream lucidly. Every single night it's on and popping in my head, and I'm like grateful for that moment. But outside of my mind, my mental state, nature. So I love going on walks. I love going into any space where I can just see what was the first creation, and that was nature. when I get to experience that level of things that are basically not even mankind that have made it, I'm just like, this is how I know that I'm able to create whatever I can. I have not painted yet outside for a full session, just due to weather sometimes, but I do know that that is where I'm at my most peaceful states. And I do look forward to being able to create in those spaces outside in nature. Some events, of course, here and there, live painting in some sessions for private events, parties and whatnot. Those are a complete different vibe than the vibe of when I'm painting in my own space, uninterrupted, having that just like creative flow of thought going on. And I love both. I love both elements because it definitely pushes me to exist in different ways of my craft and be able to produce regardless of the element that I may be in. I am her, period. Literally put a period on that. I am her. I'm not gonna explain it because how I move is gonna speak for it. And you will see it as I continue to traverse across this wonderful world that we live in, as I plant seeds everywhere that I go. My brand is everything that God created me to be. My brand is everything that has been instilled in me before I was even formed in my mama's womb. There's so much to me that I'm still exploring and so much more to me that I need to learn and grow and understand about myself, that when I get to that point, baby, it's about to be lights out. Like, I'm already knowing that it's gonna be fire. It's already fire right now, don't get me wrong, like it's already rocking right now. But when it gets to that point where I'm really moving just relentlessly in that purpose, lights out.